Warahmatullahi Taala Wabarakatuh. Today, I am Nur Syahada binti Muhammad Munir and my team members, Dr. Hanizah Rais and Professor Ainul Mazia, will be sharing with you all our topic on the role of spiritual support in combating suicidal ideation insight from young adults. All right, for our research, actually, we would like to discover the journey of four suicide survivors who have engaged with frequent suicidal intention and later had employed spiritual resources to safeguard against it. So basically, we would like to explore on their insight on society ideation and how they actually cope with the situation. We have managed to get four our suicide survivor who have failed with their suicide attempt, and they have given their consent to share with us their experience. They are all Muslim, and that comprises of three males and one female participant. They have been selected using purposive sampling with a specific criteria that we have got guide before, and the data collection will have been done using in-depth individual interview session, and salient themes have been generated using thematic analysis, and the themes that have been generated include the religion as part of the spiritual belief, uh, religion as well who has safeguard them from pursuing into suicidal behavior, and the spiritual element establish the feelings of hopeful among them. And it is hoped that these particular themes can be helpful for counselors or mental health professionals to be embedded in the suicide prevention or intervention for the targeted group. All right. For the introductory part, if we go through the statistic and the prevalence of suicide, there are many increased numbers of suicidal ideation rates and behavior itself in Malaysia. And according to Pandey and friends in 2019, um, the rate of boys performing having suicidal ideation was highest compared to girls. But in 2020, it is identified that due to stress, anxiety, and general mental health issues, actually those are the things who had contributed to the increased number of suicide cases during the lockdown especially. And suicide in Malaysia as being reported by Royal Malaysian Police in 2021, adolescent from 15 to 18 years old has amounted about 51% of the total suicide rate reported from January to May, January 2019 to May 2021, right? And if you can go through the definition of suicide itself, it is referring to the tragic behavior that has ideas and is voluntarily done. All right. So among the factors who have been put into to see the risk factor that contributed to suicide is actually the psychological stress itself, and some have depicted that due to the culture stigmatization, taboo belief, legal system, suicide has its own dynamic and um, kind of situation in there. And the report for suicide, there are some limitation of being reported due to the aspect that have been discussed just now. Looking at the trend, looking at the concern and alarming cases that have been um, happening nowadays, it is a timely, it is a urgent needs to go through for society as it is rampant, and hopefully these findings can shed light on this topic, right? So regarding suicide prevention, locally and internationally, research has been done identifying that going through participants or patient reason for living, coping mechanism, self-evaluation, parenting, relationship support, spiritual wellness, community-based programs, online gatekeepers programs, stress management knowledge, indeed helpful in order to improve themselves from continuing suicidal related action. And um, For spirituality dimension, it is found out that it helps to predict suicidal ideation among the college students. It helps to lower down suicidal risk. It is also helpful to be used as an intervention for for the patient with post-traumatic stress disorder, and after all, it also serves as an element to build one's resiliency and protective factors. And for all these important points that come into consideration, that we think it is also very much important for us to explore how it can be done or how it happened in Malaysia among our youth, among our young people, the trend of suicidal ideation and how they actually stop the ideation from going further and for protecting them better from doing it. So this research employed research design using phenomenological approach using quantitative research. Participant is Malaysian, Malay and Muslim. Set of data collection using interview question have been prepared, vetted by the experts, and we have transcribed during the verbatim to generate themes as for data analysis. And us, the researchers, are also registered counselors. Not only that we go and do the interview, we also observe any psychological distress should they be happening throughout the interview session, so that we can offer emotional support and to stop the interview before things get worse. Um, Findings that we actually gathered for this research are three. That is religious belief embedded in thinking, religion as safeguard, and also religion as a source of hopeful feeling. And for team one, um, participant mentioned regarding the thinking process that they have when about to perform the suicide itself. And in fact, when they have a strong urge of suicidality, the religious belief come into the picture and stop them from continuing the urge to do suicide. And secondly, though they don't have that strong urge to do it, religion actually play a very important role for them to have and regain the perspective, and also to stop them from planning further about on suicidality. The third one is actually the religion itself too, that establish the hopeful feeling for them to relive once again with meaningful perspective in their life. Okay. As for the discussion, we noticed that there are several studies conducted before only focusing on the descriptive part of the research, and some of them not eventually go into further and in-depth study on how it is happening, how it can actually gain into a perspective of intervention and so on and so forth. And for international or outside research, they actually identified spiritual has its own protective factors for the participant and survivors. So this research also supported the findings, but in local context for Malay Muslim participant, after all. And we hope that this research can contribute further into structuring an established manual or guideline for the upcoming research who intends to do module for practitioners for them to be used for their patient after all. And not only that, we can strengthen the religious as well as spiritual aspect of education, counseling practice, um, and other places that are required to gain this perspective. So I think that is all. This is the references that being used for this research, and hope to see you guys inshallah in future. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.